First, replace self-pity with gratitude. Bad things happen to all of us, but there is no use of pitying ourselves and overthinking about our misfortune. When we regret our mistakes and express disappointment in ourselves, we train our brain to think that our problems are worse than they actually are. We waste our time by focusing on the negative side of our problem, which makes us even more miserable. So how can we stop? The most effective method is gratitude. At a moment of misery, simply write down the good things that are happening with you. Since misfortunes are a part of life, this little trick is a good coping mechanism. The second secret is to be ready to embrace change. It is quite possible that you want to become a doctor but get rejected from medical school. Or you initiate a business but it does not gain traction in the market after multiple attempts. In this case, what would a mentally strong person do? They would shed their old identity and embrace a new one immediately. They won't get themselves emotionally involved in a goal. Instead, they would accept the fact that goals and ambitions do not always materialize, and they move on. Third, do not get distracted with things you cannot control. Accept this as a fact that not everything is in your control. The economy, the actions and behavior of people around you, the political situation in your country, the crime rates, etc. Once you have accepted this, you can focus on what you can control, and only then can you make the best of your circumstances. Fourth, be ready to displease others. This does not mean becoming a sadist. What this does mean is being too nice, saying yes to every invitation, becoming likable to everyone around you, and becoming a people pleaser at the expense of your own interest and well-being. You must know that we cannot make everyone happy all the time. So we should learn to politely and if required firmly say no when required. Fifth, be willing to take calculated risks. Taking risks often mean escaping our comfort zone to achieve something that matters to us. Since we humans crave certainty, we fear taking risks. We imagine and exaggerate the worst case scenarios, and doing so prevents us from taking necessary and timely action. As a result, we spend our entire lives on a couch. The solution is to take calculated risks, which means not only imagining the worst case scenario, but also imagining the best case scenario. Figuring out a plan B and C and D in advance. Conducting a realistic cost-benefit analysis, and if the perceived benefit exceeds the perceived cost, then one must not hesitate. 6. Accept your past. It means not thinking about the past other than for the purpose of learning from it. It means not wondering how your life would have turned out if so or so had or had not happened. A certain amount of retrospective reflection is good, but too much of it can be destructive. So the solution is to accept it, learn from it, and move forward. 7th, do not repeat the same mistakes. A good way to not repeat the same mistakes is to keep a journal. As soon as you realize you have made a mistake, which ought not to be repeated in future, write it down in a dedicated physical or digital diary and revisit its contents after some time. It is that simple. 8. Admire rather than envy. An envious person is the one who, rather than deriving pleasure from what they have, derives pain from what others have. In the age of social media, where lifestyle bloggers earn money by projecting their best selves, it is easy to fall into the envy trap. There are some ways to avoid this. First, replace envy with admiration. Try to learn from others' achievements and experiences instead of resenting them. Second, clearly define what success is to you. Something that makes someone else happy may not necessarily make you happy. And third, try to collaborate instead of competing with people more accomplished than you. Experiencing their company will impact you positively. 9th, do not give up and be prepared for failure. It is true that one should not give up on a goal, but it is pure stupidity to do the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So when you fail at something, try to find out the reasons behind it and then re-evaluate your strategies accordingly. After all, regular practice and effort always defeats natural talent. Perseverance is more effective than a high IQ. Still, when failure occurs, and it most probably will, mentally strong people show compassion to themselves and they have a good opinion of themselves. 10th, embrace solitude and be comfortable comfortable being alone. Of course, too much alone time can be harmful and it can cause feelings of loneliness. But sometimes being alone helps us recharge our batteries. It provides us time to think, to evaluate our behavior, and to make plans for our future. More than often, people choose bad company because they fear being alone by themselves. So mentally strong people are prepared to be alone by themselves when required. 11th secret: get rid of entitlement mentality and give more than you receive. We are often inclined to believe that the world owes us something, and this mentality stops us from putting the effort required to earn something meaningful. Mentally strong people do not depend on anyone. They are self-reliant. They do collaborate with their team members to achieve goals, but they do not place unrealistic demands on the people around them. They give more than they receive. 12th, accept that achievements take time. Impatience is notorious. It compels us to expect immediate results. But the fact is that Rome was not built in a day. Good things take time. Results do not show up magically overnight. Problematically, instant gratification has become an important trait of young generation. People who expect results immediately become discouraged and abandon their efforts prematurely. It is important to know that some things, like education, career, or an artistic breakthrough, only come after years of hard, unrewarding work and perseverance. 13th, grow a thick skin. The final secret is to make yourself immune towards harsh, unsolicited, and negative criticism. Mentally strong people accept the fact that they cannot keep everyone happy all the time. Whatever you do, you will always attract unwanted and destructive criticism from others. Now, providing justifications to everyone is a waste of time. So it is better to stop paying heed to them. So how much do you agree with these 13 secrets of becoming mentally strong? Let me know in the comments. And do share this episode with someone who may need it.